Hi guys, Elmarie here from Worcester, Western Cape, South Africa. This is my podcast about fibre and fibre related stuff. Knitting and spinning and hand dyeing and that sort of stuff. Once in a while, some sewing. Actually, there should be more sewing, but that's not really happening at the moment. So, today, I think, if I'm not mistaken, is the 11th of May. I'm not sure, actually. I can't look now. I should have looked in a while before I started. It is autumn in the southern hemisphere, which in Africa means it's getting cold at night and hot during the day. We still have really warm days. We have cooler days. Now, again, to explain, in Africa, if you live in Africa, anything below 20 degrees is cold. 20 degrees Celsius is cold. I know that doesn't work like that in the northern hemisphere, but in the southern hemisphere, anything below 20 degrees is cold, especially in Africa. So we've had some cooler days and cold days and rainy days and windy days, but mostly it's in between the whole time. So welcome to anyone who's new, and thank you to all returning viewers. I've noticed that I have now almost 200 followers, which is wonderful, really wonderful. Thank you. For those who are actually watching the podcast, thank you for watching it. Please leave comments below. Make them nice comments, but leave comments and say something. It's weird though, because no comments. I'm trying to figure out if I haven't got the setting where people can leave comments, or they just don't leave comments. Anyway, you will find me as, sorry, let me just get my cocoa. Tell you about that in a minute. You will find me as A Cup of Yarn on Instagram, where I'm most active. You will also find me as A Cup of Yarn on Facebook. I have a Facebook page, and I usually upload things on Instagram and share it to my Facebook page. I'm not a Facebook fan. If you've ever been watching this podcast before, you'll know I'm not a Facebook fan. It's a very negative platform, so I don't like it. You will find me as Allah73 on Ravelry, but that's really just a place where I post my FOs. I wanted to open a shop there, yarn, just sell my yarn as well, but I haven't been able to figure that out yet, and I haven't had time to try and figure it out, so not happening right now. You will find me at, and there is a podcast group, my yarn runneth over, for this podcast, but I'm not very active there either, simply because I think that's one of the negatives, one of the very, very few negatives of Ravelry, is that they don't have an app or a group or anything in that direction. They have an app, but they don't really, I can't get notifications from Ravelry unless I actually go onto Ravelry, which I don't do all the time. And I have found that even when I do go up and there's this little notification thingy and I go click on there's no notifications, but then I go to the group and there's a lot of notifications. A lot of people have actually responded on the group and that sort of thing. So if I run a KAL knit along, I will be there a lot. I will be there at least twice a day. If I don't run a knit along, I'm hardly ever there. And I don't do show notes. Not because I don't want to. It's just, honestly, by the time I get to the point of recording something, I've been running my butt off dyeing this and doing that, and then I don't do show notes. I'll try and get a bit more professional in that direction at some point, I guess. That will be the point where I guess I'm going to put on makeup before I do my podcast, which is not going to be very soon. Anyway, okay, that's a whole different story. Yeah. So, what am I drinking today? This is going to be a long podcast, you guys. I actually have a lot of content for a change. That's why I didn't upload a video. I didn't do any videos the last couple of weeks. I think it's more than a month now since I did the last one. And the reason for that is simple. I don't have content. I dye up yarn, I sell it immediately, no content. I spin yarn, I go to a market, I sell it, no content. FOs are going very slow, and they're not supposed to be going slow. I need some of this stuff a lot, so I really need to get my knitting thingy running again. Anyway, what am I drinking? Cocoa. I was actually planning on making rooibos tea. Rooibos tea, by the way, if anybody from overseas is watching this or sees this, rooibos tea comes from South Africa. It actually comes from the Cederberg area. It's about 2 hours drive from here, from Worcester. My husband grew up in that area, so he knows. So they call it stokkies tea. Direct translation, stick tea. Because you actually don't drink the leaves. It's the stickies that they turn into the tea. And they've been using it forever. I think the Sun and the Khoisan, the Bushmen, do we know them? They used them way before the Europeans knew about them. They were the local people in the Western Cape. Before the Europeans came in here, the Khoi and the Khoisan are actually amazing people. I love them to pieces. And they were the Western Cape. They lived in the Western Cape before the Europeans came in. So, amazing history, actually, if you want to go look that up. Yeah. So, anyway, I started making the tea, and then I realized, this is not rooibos tea. This is Ceylon tea. I think it was 5 roses, something like that. And I can't drink that at all. I have that here for visitors. So I've been trying to take a step back health-wise again, because I've been messing up my stomach. Again, bad habits. Also, it's not just bad habits, it's life, you know? Constantly running around life. So I end up eating bread. And no, I don't do shop bought bread. I either bake my bread or there's an artisan baker in town. But you know, you end up just doing the quick fix things like throwing pasta in a pot. And that's not good. And I've been having way too much sugar. So, trying to tone that down. Drinking only 1 coffee a day and putting honey in it instead of sugar and all of those wonderful things and blah blah blah. But the problem with me is I made cocoa now because I couldn't get rooibos tea, and I'm sorry, but cocoa and honey just don't work together. They just don't work. So it's honey and sugar. Anyway, that's what I'm drinking. From a mug that I bought because I thought it was funny. A balanced diet is a cake in each hand. Anyway, on to fibre stuff. So, today, let's talk about FOs. I've got 2 FOs. Wow, I've got 2 FOs to talk about. And again, I forgot to bring the one ball, but never mind. Okay, so the first one is my husband's beanie. That I finished. I did put it up on Instagram while it was still a whip, but I don't know if I actually put it. No, I didn't put it up finished because he won't let me take a photo. Sorry guys, I've got sniffles. I did mention that it was I can actually wear it as a slouchy, but he's he really likes his beanie. And when I took it out of the car this morning, because I told him I need to do, no, where are you going with my beanie? So anyway, this is what it looks like. I love this pooling effect that I got from this yarn. It's Katbos and Cambro. It was it's a DK where it's colorway of mine, but that was like most of my variegateds are one of a kinds. The tonals are fine. I'll do the tonals, you know, if I have a recipe for them, but not these. I love to keep my creativity alive. Okay, so that was that one. That's what I have left. This was a pattern, or based on a pattern I bought from the Cozy Up Knits, from those ladies. I think it was Katie, or I don't know, it was a design. And I started with the ribbing, and the ribbing went just fine. I started out with a 4mm, wait, sorry guys, a 4mm, and I'm not a Knit Pro fan, as I mentioned before. I'm gonna drink this meanwhile because otherwise it's gonna get cold. Okay, that must have looked a bit weird. Oh wow. A chipmunk. Anyway, I'm not a Knit Pro fan. I feel the tips aren't sharp enough for me. But I couldn't get anything this short in any of the other brands. So this is Knit Pro Basics, the 4mm that I did the ribbing with. And this is Knit Pro Symphony, which is a 5mm that I did the body with. I did not stick to the pattern. I started doing the pattern at almost like well, it's a textured pattern anyway, and I started it, and then I realized, you know what, I'm not in the mood to think. And the color work, sorry about that, is already a bit busy. So I just frogged it up to the ribbing, which is a 1x1 ribbing, by the way. And I think this is what they call a twisted rib. I'm not so sure, but this is what it looks like on the inside. And I just did the ribbing. I frogged it from there up and just did plain knitting in the round till I got to the top, and I did my own decrease idea after that. That's fine, just the normal, almost like you would do with a raglan increase. I just did the decreases. Came out fine, and I have a happy husband. Oh, I did the normal long tail cast on. That was just fine. So he's gonna wear it when it starts getting colder to keep his ears warm. That is the one FO. My other FO is my socks. I have one standard pair of DK socks. I knit them up with my, also, you know what, most of my own stuff that I knit up is yarn that I'll have one colorway, and then I'll have two of those colors that just don't sell. Which is why you will often notice that none of my stuff goes together. Thankfully, I'm the jeans and t-shirt type, so anything goes with a blue jean and a grey t-shirt. So I can just do anything over that. Anyway, these are my socks. You will see it's quite a dense fabric. I used, again, one of the Cozy Up Knit Girls patterns, the new one that Jamie released. It's actually also textured foot. And I've never done a toe up before. The toe up patterns that I've seen before are mostly with fingering weight, and almost all of them are 2 at a time, and I tried that, and I couldn't figure that one out. I just don't work like that. My brain doesn't work like that. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna try this sock because I can actually read this pattern and understand what she's saying. So thank you for that, Jamie. I didn't do the Judy's Magic. I didn't do that. I just did a normal Turkish cast on. and did the increases as she said, as the pattern requires. The pattern speaks of the increases, and then I started with the top of the foot, doing the, just starting to do the pattern, the textured pattern. It's a faux tweed, I think it's called. And then I thought, nah, this is going to require thinking. This is my first toe up sock, and I still have to think about the heel. So nope. So I just did a plain vanilla. And then I went along and I thought about the Fish Lips Kiss heel. I think that's the one they use. They talked about that they use. It says your heel of choice, so it doesn't matter which heel you choose. But I think Jamie uses the Fish Lips Kiss heel, and I went and I looked it up. I bought the pattern. It's a $1 pattern on Ravelry. It's worth the buy because of that I made a fake foot. Sorry, this is my little fake foot, you see. But I don't understand the pattern, to be honest. And there are there's no complete YouTube tutorial for the heel that I could find. The designer does have YouTube tutorials about the stitches that are being used, but not from start to finish the heel. And that's actually what I needed. And that's nothing against the designer. I know people that don't always do that, but I need that. If it's a pattern that does completely something new, you know, I've never done it before. The best way for me to learn it is to actually see someone else do it. And in this case, I couldn't find anything. What I did find though is the German short rib. Free tutorial, wonderful, great. I'll put the tutorial down below for those of you who want to know. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's actually a full tutorial on that's a full tutorial actually on a toe up sock. So I use that. And then I just did a 1x1 rib. And you know what? I actually used a different method to bind off. And this will from now on be my method of choice. Elizabeth Zimmerman. It's called the sewn bind off. And I love it. I used to do the old traditional one that my granny did. I really like this one though. And it's so easy, you guys. Honestly, there's a ton of tutorials. I'll put a tutorial down below for this bind off. There's a ton of them out there, and I'll put the one that made most sense to me. But this is just, I think I'll be using this for anything with a cuff. For that matter, with anything. Because if you do a long tail cast on, you know, this actually is it looks exactly the same. There's another one that you can do that's like for a 1x1 rib that actually makes it look like a 1x1 rib. These are socks, couldn't kill these. So that's my FOs. We have another sip of my hot chocolate that's supposed to be hot. Okay. On to fiber related stuff. I have been dyeing quite a lot. I am so grateful because I am able to get my sock weight yarn again in smaller quantities. So yes, I'm really thankful. It is superwash. I prefer non-superwash in general, except when it comes to, oh no, wait, I can't stop there. Sorry, rewind. Sorry guys, I was supposed to tell you some more about my socks. I used my own yarn for that. I've got 3 of them left. They ended up being self-striping, so now I know how to do self-striping without the whole process, because the process that people talk about does take a long time, and this one worked just fine. It ended up being self-striping without design. As I said, I have 3 of them left. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. This was also, it was a colorway that just didn't sell. I don't know why. I love it. Maybe people didn't notice it. Sorry, I've got terrible sniffles. Hang on, let me just get a tissue. Okay, I'm back. I don't know where that came from. If you hear anything funny in the background, my washing machine is on, my cats are going ballistic. I don't know why. Anyway, so where was I? Oh, this is a GK weight. The base is a base I'm using in general. It's merino, non-superwash merino, alpaca and mohair blend. So it's a wonderful blend. I love it. I love the effect it gives. I did use a Chihagu 2.75 and I did use Magic Loop. That's what I wanted to add. What I also want to say is the pattern calls for a 3mm, and next time I'll do a 3mm or even a 3.25. I wanted a denser fabric because I don't want to sit with a sock that's sort of run all over the show, but with this particular base that comes out too tight. Not on my foot, really. I love it on my foot because it sits really nice and tight, which is what I wanted. But it is a bit of a challenge to get it over my foot, onto my foot. So I'll definitely use the... What is going on? I don't know. Actually, the cats are having a bit of a tiff. There's a lot of mice here at the moment, and they've been catching mice. The one of them has been catching the mice. The other one has been too lazy to catch anything, so she gets jealous. But she's not jealous enough to actually start catching the mice. We live on a farm, if anybody hasn't noticed. Okay, so those are my socks. I'm done with the socks now. As far as dyeing is concerned, I do have dye work that's busy, that's still in the dye pots that I'm going to go rinse out right now. That's on this GK base. I also bought really chunky yarn that I'm going to make stuff with. So I've got 2 fibre festivals coming on, or 2, not fibre festivals, it's just 2 markets really. The one is now between the 7th and the 9th of June. I think we are booked on that Saturday for the 9th of June. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know, I'm gonna have to go check. That's the Wacky Wine Festival now. Wacky Wine is exactly what it says, Wacky Wine. It's in Robertson, and Robertson is in the Western Cape. Anybody that's from overseas, you get Paarl, then you come over the mountain, then you get Worcester. Well, actually no, you get Rosenwold, then you get Worcester, and then you drive like all up this way and you get Robertson. And this is the wine area, the winelands of South Africa, and from the Wacky Wine. Needless to say, I'm not a really big fan of Wacky Wine, because too many drunk people around me irritates me. And I have nothing against a glass of wine from time to time. I like wine. Really, I do. I'm stingy with the type of wine I drink. And I've got cocoa on my teeth. But I don't drink. We don't drink a lot. And we're not everyday drinkers. And I don't like getting drunk. I don't like drunk people. So wacky wine is going to be a challenge. But that's okay because I've got the spot there and it's going to cost me 60 Rand for the entire day. That's fine. So I'm taking my stuff there. And then the next weekend, there's the other one called Fries Jou Gat Af Fees, direct translation. Fries Jou Butt Off Festival. Anyway. Sutherland is very cold. It's one of the coldest areas in South Africa where we actually do get some snow. And June is already into winter. So, I don't know what is going on here. Oh. I've got a puffy eye on this side. And I think a puffy eye on this side, except the puffy eye on this side actually shows. Anyway, so I'm going to show you what I've been dyeing up, what is available in the shop at the moment. And then I'm going to tell you, oh, and the cottons. I'm going to show you the cottons. And talk a little bit about fibre, and then I'll tell you about my sewing plans. So this is in the shop at the moment. This one is actually called strawberry. I think I'm going to change it to raspberry because honestly it doesn't look like a strawberry. It looks more like raspberries. I've got 4 of these in the shop at the moment. 4 that are available. This one is called dark chocolate. Just taking my own hair of it, which is just like a greyish brown. And those two work perfectly together. And no, I'm not going to steal from my own stash anymore. I really can't do that. It's bad, you know. I do that all the time. This one is called Gold. You see. Okay, this one is called Gold, which is kind of obvious. Oh, this is seaweed, and seaweed became seaweed because my water decided to split the colors up. It was actually supposed to be a teal green, which I'm hoping I have in the dye pot right now. This one is called Blue Lagoon. Again, this was supposed to be a turquoise. My colors were split up by the water, which I spoke of before, I think. My water on the farm is very different from my water in town. pH levels are very different, so I get completely different colors. Not completely different colors, but they do split a lot. Colors just sort of split. Okay, and this one I think is called Aubergine. I only have 2 of these available. All of them, as you can see, it's a fingering weight. Fingering weights, superwash, excellent for socks, especially if you are, this is like 1 pair of socks. Also great for shawls or color work for that matter. Sweaters. The recommended needle size for them is between a 2.5 and a 2.75, maximum a 3mm. I wouldn't go bigger than that. Unless you really want something very loose and lacy. That's up to you. Or if you're doing Tunisian crochet, that's a whole different story. Okay, my hot chocolate is getting less than hot. Cottons. So I wanted to start with cottons. I feel that in my area there are cottons available, but not always as affordable as people would in the rural areas be able to buy. So they end up buying cheap junk, which comes from China, or is imported. And I have one serious issue with that, and that is local first. If there's nothing else available, sure, buy it. If you really can't afford it, buy it. But in my personal opinion, I feel I'd rather provide a good product for less money to those people who really cannot afford it. So I couldn't dye up. I just couldn't anymore. Jeez, cotton is really labor intensive, and I mentioned that before. It's far more labor intensive than animal fibers, but I now have somebody who is helping me. Her name is Rose. She's actually my son's girlfriend, and so I'm changing the labels now to a cup of yarn cottons by Rose. Cottons by Rose. A cup of yarn cottons by Rose. And yeah, she's been dyeing, and we're doing it 50-50. I do the sales and the marketing of it, and she does the physical work. She's much younger than me, so she can handle that, and my son helps her from time to time. And she's been coming up with the most amazing colors. You see? She really has been coming up with the most amazing colors. Anyway, those are the cottons. Okay, I'll phone my husband back. He just wanted to talk to me right now. So these are the cottons. They'll be available in the shop very soon. Hopefully very soon. We make them up, and then a ton of them get sold, and I don't get to put them in the physical shop at all. But yes, Rose is busy working her little butt off, and one of these days they'll be in the shop, hopefully during this week. They cost a whole of 25 Rand. Look at these colors, aren't they beautiful? Okay, so that's that. I still wanted to talk about sewing, but I don't think I'm going to talk about it much right now. I'll talk about that next time. I did purchase some fabric that I want to make clothes of. This is the 3rd year of Me Made May that I know about Me Made May, and I really want to be a part of Me Made May, and I don't get to make anything for me. Except for my knitting stuff. Oh, wait, I forgot to tell you about my whips. Well, I have 2 actually that I can tell you about, but this is going to be a quick whip. These are my whips. The one is just the same as I did before, that I'm still busy with. The socks became a bit monogamous so that I could finish them. But this is where I am with the liner shawl. I've come quite far actually. This is just another plain simple liner shawl. The only difference between this one and the other ones I did before is I'm busy fading in colors. Just get this right. I'm busy fading in colors, so you'll see I faded this one into, let me just go to the right side here. Faded this one into the gray. I'm busy fading this taupe color into the green right now. That's just a neutral, and then the next color I will be fading in will be this one, and then I've got some more of the gray left, so this like tiny bit of gray, this will just be the end. And I really want to finish this week. And then the other one I'm still busy with, and I am actually on the body of my, this is the free pattern, Ravelry pattern. If you're a beginner, this is a pattern I will really, really recommend. I'm using my 3.25 Chiago needles. Oh, and the base is the alpaca base that I discontinued. That's the same as my Daya beanie. Daya is a Caitlin Hunter pattern, and it's a paid for pattern. She has a sale on, by the way, at the moment for her Natalie series, but I'm not gonna buy that pattern. I've been wanting to buy it. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying the Tenya pattern. I am not buying the Tenya pattern. Because why you would want to know? Because I have so many patterns that I have in my library that I'm supposed to be doing something with, and I'm just not doing something with it. So I've told myself, you are not buying this pattern. It's a summer pattern anyway. It's not a winter pattern. It is a summer pattern, which means you're going to wear it in summer. It's also a fingering weight pattern. It's a, no, I'm trying to convince myself not to do that. The sale is on until the 18th. This, the other thing is I still have the Sapila one that I promised myself I would finish before I buy any more of her patterns. And I went and I bought a beanie pattern. So no, that's ridiculous. It's actually a beret pattern. It's beautiful though. It's like a lacy one. Anyway, let's talk about stuff that matters right now. This is how far I am with my sweater. I did split the sleeves. I'm on the body. Again, I'm using some of my either almost throwaway colors, or like this was a floppy one. I dyed over this one, and then this one is actually one that I really liked, so I kept some for myself. Polanse Noinki, that one. And I'm using my 4.5 Chiagu bamboo needles. Okay. Well, that is it, unfortunately, for now. As I said, I wanted to put in my sewing stuff, but I'm not gonna, because otherwise it's gonna take forever to load this video. I'm gonna love you and leave you. That's been my, I'm spinning at the moment. I have to get stock ready for that market. I really am spinning a lot. I did cake these up yesterday. This one was already rolled into a ball. I think because I started something and I didn't know what to do with it. I caked this one up, and I've got this one. Don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. Haven't decided. Probably a cowl or a beanie, or a cowl. Probably a cowl. This is enough for a cowl. So I'll probably do a cowl. Just something really simple that I can wear anywhere. So yeah, personal wise, not a lot to say. A lot to say, but not a lot to say. I don't talk politics at all. This is not a political podcast. I don't do politics. And most of my politics consists of prayer. So, not going there. For those of you who do pray and is watching this podcast, if you don't live in South Africa, please put South Africa onto your prayer list. And thank you. Yeah, it's been busy. It's been busy all the time, and I sometimes feel like I'm busy all the time, but I can't really show anything for what I've been doing. We drove a simple little, just a snippet. Rose and I were busy with the work on the farm. She came to the farm, she was busy dyeing and everything, and I get a call from my husband who says, what are you doing? We're busy with wool. Can you please pack your stuff, because we're driving to PE. Now PE is 8 hours drive from Worcester. Okay, why? No, because for the business side, these guys are asking 43,000 Rand for us to get stuff from PE to Worcester. I'm driving. Okay. So I packed and we left. It was very nice. It was nice because those are the times that Ludi and I just spend time together. Ludi is my husband. And just talk and just have time for each other. So we drove to PE, came back, ate something there. At the guest house, I made this huge mistake of drinking the filter coffee and drinking it like water just to wake up, because I didn't sleep very well. And I ended up with, and we stopped at Enrico's. Again, I made the huge mistake of eating very rich pasta instead of just eating something very light. So I ended up with an interesting little spastic colon episode, which was very painful and very, very painful. So Saturday I was so tired. I was beyond tired. And I went to the market anyway, Saturday morning. Came home and I basically just passed out. I just slept for about an hour, which is a lot for me. I can't actually sleep in the afternoons. But I'm still feeling the repercussions of that. My own very, very stupidity. But hey, life goes on. I am going to go now. Leave you. I'm going to go and do my garden, which I seriously do need to do because my veggies need to grow. And then I'm going to rinse out the wool and I'm going to dye the next lot. I'll talk to you guys again. Please keep an eye on my blog and on my Instagram feed. That's where I really am most active. I only do a YouTube upload if I actually have something to load up. Anyway, goodbye. Have a nice day and a wonderful week. I hope your week is lively and productive and blessed. Bye.